Hello, all, and happy summer solstice. I am so excited that it is another change of the season. Do you do anything that's fun and just celebrates the season? I would love to just read your comments below and how you celebrate the seasons. We love to throw little parties every season. So we have our little intimate like summer party planned for this Saturday, where we just spend time enjoying things of the season with each other. And then I'm headed out to yoga. It's our summer solstice yoga tonight, and I'm pretty excited to take part in that with a friend. But I would love to hear how you celebrate summer. What are some of your summer plans as you gear up? I know maybe some of you are already there, but I would love to hear some of your summer plans. Once again, I am Becky Bennell, owner of Lykke Haven Design, which is a purpose-driven interior design company in Grand Rapids in West Michigan. And we create spaces with intention, mission, and connection. And I have been coming to you live each day for about 40 days. We are closing in on 40 days together, just giving you ideas, tips, and tricks for interior design, but also helping you understand who Lykke Haven is and how we are designing differently, just to inspire each of you in your own homes as well to create your own Lykke Haven. And keep paying attention. Later this week, there will be a fun freebie as just a celebration of the 40 days and just a thank you. I appreciate each and every one of you that has taken the time to watch these videos. And I hope that it has sparked something in you, that it has inspired you to look at your home differently, to understand that your space does matter. Your environment can heal you, both physically and mentally. It has the power to do that. So that's why it matters so much in how you create and bring your home together to make it your home. And today we're going to kind of go over when and how do you work with a designer. So first deciding when do you need a designer, and then how do you even work with one. So that's what we're going to cover today, kind of wrapping this series up with what are your next steps. We've gone through each of the different rooms and tips, and we've gone through how you go through empathy exercises, how you create with intention, how you create with mission, and how you create with connection. And so we're kind of bringing those all together today and talking about when do you know if you actually need a designer or when you do it yourself. Because every situation is different. And I want to make sure that we make very well educated decisions when it comes to this. Because by all means, some situations you don't need to hire a designer. And then in others, it would make a lot of sense to do that. So we're going to go over that today. And the first thing I want to do is bring us back to what we covered in week 1 during the video of Your Space Matters. And if you guys are feeling up to it, I just invite you to close your eyes and imagine yourself in one of those days where there's just chaos going on, that the kids have been yelling and screaming, or you just had kind of this rift with a friend of yours. Maybe you work outside the home and it was just one of those days that was exhausting. And you breathe in that exhausting day and you come home. First, how does your home welcome you? As you drive up, what are some of the thoughts and feelings you have? And then as you enter your space, what are the thoughts and feelings that come to mind as you enter your home? After that long day, does it feel heavy? Does it feel burdensome? Does it feel dark? Does it feel like all you want to do is lay on the couch and bed and just wipe the day away and start fresh tomorrow? Or when you come home, Are you able to take that breath, that just breathing out the bad day, that you're able to feel light and life and breath when you enter your space? Does it feel like it supports you? Do you see the values you hold as a family? Can you understand how your home is supporting your goals and you're able to be productive and breathe away that bad day and move on with your night and just be with your family, connect with your family because your home allowed you that breath? And then I'm going to have you open your eyes and just take in whatever thoughts came to you. Whatever the thoughts were when you're looking at your home, take those and store them. Maybe you're writing them down. How does your home make you feel, especially after a bad day? Does it support your goals as a family? Does it support your values? Can you see what's important to you and your family in your home? Can you see those words come to life? That is the first step in understanding if you need a designer or not. Because if your home does support you and you do feel those intentions come alive in your home, you're great. And maybe it's just one room in your house. You're like, this is a little off, but maybe it's not your entire home. Or if your home does feel that heavy, that burdensome, that not you, does not feel supportive, that's the first, I'll say, hint that maybe it's time to start talking to a designer. Because in the chaos and overwhelm, you don't even know where to start. Do we start with the dining room? Do we start with the living room? Do we start with the kitchen? I don't know what it is, but this home doesn't feel right. That's your first step to understanding if you need a designer or not. And then the second part to ask yourself when deciding if you need a designer is I love to look at, I always call it the triangle. In any project I've done, you're always looking at this triangle, right? And it's time, money, and quality. And you have to have a well-balanced triangle. If you focus on any one area, then your triangle starts to come a little off. But let's take a look at each point on that triangle. So the first is time. So you've decided my home doesn't support me. The next is to ask yourself these three questions. Do I want to save time? And what I mean by that, or do I need to save time? And what I mean by that is if you are ready to hire a designer and you want to save time, the designer is doing all the heavy lifting of sorting through all the different selections, helping understand your intentions and bringing it into a design, taking the time to do that for you. Because how many times have you bought something at the store because you thought it was the perfect thing for your room? And then you get home and you're like, okay, but I still need something else. And so you're constantly going back and forth to the store trying to pick out things, and it's taking a lot of your time to bring a design together because you haven't methodically brought your design through a process that helps streamline that time. Or how many times have you sat just researching and researching and researching, trying to find that perfect couch that's for you? That takes a lot of time. And if you don't have that, if you have kids running around or you have a lot on your plate at work, you may not have that time to sort through things in order to bring a design to life. And so a designer will help you save time and bring that triangle back into balance. The other question to ask yourself is, do you want to save money? And I know this is a little bit counterintuitive because a lot of people, I'm sure you're probably saying, well, Becky, right, but doesn't a designer cost money? So am I really saving any money? And I would say yes, you still save money, even though a designer does have a design fee that costs something to bring a design together. And the reason I say that is because taking that same, let's say, couch, you go out and you find a couch, it looks perfect on the showroom floor, and you bring it home and it doesn't fit. And you can't return it. So now you've just wasted money on a couch that maybe doesn't fit. Maybe it's not the style or it doesn't look right in your room, in your specific instance. And now you've just wasted a lot of money on a product that doesn't fit how you wanted the room to feel, how you wanted the room, what the activities you want to do in the space. It just doesn't fit. And how many times do you do that with a couch or, artwork even, and it just doesn't come together? And so a designer then can save you money by understanding design principles, by understanding how your intentions can come to life in a design and getting that design all approved before any money on furnishings and accessories and art is even spent. So that way, by the time you're ready to spend that money on those accessories, you've seen samples, you've gone through prototype phase, and you know without a doubt that these are going to work for you. A designer helps you with that so that you are able to save money in the entire process. And then bringing that triangle, like I said, back into balance by saving you money. And then the third is quality. When it comes to quality, what I mean by that in design is, do you want a quality end product, an end design? One that will fill those intentions you have for the space, will bring a space to life that supports you in who your family is. Because the way that processes work, right, there's a lot of empathy up front, and as a designer, we're able to take that empathy, take those intentions, and then use them to create a quality product on the back end. And that does take some expertise in how to understand and what questions to ask in the first place. And then there's a side of, well, this is a designer's expertise, is designing spaces. And for Lykke Haven, it's designing spaces with intention, mission, and connection. So not only do you have that expertise in creating a quality product, but you have the sources that a designer has already been through, has already vetted, some contractor connections, those connections with products and contractors to already give you a quality product. And then depending on the type of designer you're going for, by interviewing them, you gain the different quality aspects of design. For instance, with Lykke Haven, we are very process focused and mission focused and intention, right? We've talked about all those things, though that is where the expertise lies, and that's how we create a quality product for you. If you don't understand how to bring those all together and it just is overwhelming, you're like, I really don't even want to do that. I don't want to research what is the quality couch I should choose, what's the fabric I should choose for my lifestyle, or how do I even bring these intentions to life in a room? I don't really equate that in my mind. I'm not, maybe you're not a creative person, which that sounds bad. It's not that you're not creative, it's just that you're not maybe meant for designing interiors. You're creative in other aspects of your life. We're all gifted and skilled in different areas, and it's okay to understand that this may be one that we really just want to hand off to somebody to make sure that it's a quality product. So that's another question to ask yourself when you're deciding if it's time to hire a designer or not, is if you want a quality product or your level of quality, right? You could have, if you do it yourself and you're okay with a lower level of quality, that's just the way you're accepting the triangle as off balance, and that is okay, right? If you want a balanced triangle, maybe it's time to hire a designer. If you're okay giving a little bit in any of those areas, your time or money or quality, and you have a slightly off balance triangle, that's okay too. And that just means you're okay with that unbalanced triangle because you don't feel ready to hire a designer. And it's just asking yourself these questions and being okay with whatever the answer is. If you know you're not ready to hire a designer, you know that you're going to have an unbalanced triangle, and that's okay. Or if your house is perfectly supportive and a breath of fresh air and life-giving, then by all means, it's not time to hire a designer. You've already nailed it. And so these are some of the questions to ask yourself when deciding, do I hire a designer or do I not? Because it is a service, there is a cost to that service, but then there is so much benefit in the service too of having that balanced triangle. So that is the first part of this video series is how to know when to hire a designer. And then how do you even work with a designer once you've decided, yes, I want a space that gives me life. I want a space that supports our values. I want a space that supports who our family is with intention and mission and connection. I need your help. So then what? Like, how do you even work with a designer? And the designers are all a little bit different. So I can only speak for how we do things at Lykke Haven, but by all means, interview different designers. Get someone that connects with you, because if you're able to have a connection with your designer, the process will go so much better. And so I will not be a fit for everybody. My personality or how I do things may not be a fit for everybody, and that is okay. Because I want to work with people that we can develop a relationship with and that I can make a difference with. And I won't be able to do that unless we connect. So by all means, interview different designers to see who you connect with. That's your first step. And then from there, at least for us, we start with a discovery call of just understanding what you're even looking for in the design process. Have you thought about budget and timing and all those kind of first level questions just in a quick 15-minute phone call? And then we really like to get to know you through a meet and greet, which we either do virtually, or I love to grab a cup of coffee with people and just really develop that relationship firsthand. And during that 1 hour, it's just simply getting to know each other even better. How I work, what are the more details of your project, and then trying to figure out if it's a good fit. And then when we decide it's a good fit, what solution is the best? Because at Lykke Haven, right, we have from full service design, so renovations and build site visits and selections and design and furnishings and all of that. We can do all of that, but we can also do one-day things. And in some cases, it might make sense to just do 1 day. Because you're like, I just need a refresh in a room. And so it's like just 1 day of putting a design together, hand in hand together in your home. And so there's different ways that a designer can help. And it's really that first meeting, that grabbing a cup of coffee and just chatting, getting to know each other. That's how you begin the process of just first reaching out, and then we move to that 1 hour. And from there, what you can expect, at least with Lykke Haven, is I do a lot of due diligence on the front side. And so we have a phased approach that takes us, we've kind of already talked about it. We have a discovery stage, and then we have an explore, and then we have a deliver stage. So 3 stages for our full service. And within each of those stages, it's broken down into phases, right? So within that, there's 6 phases. We go through empathy to understand. We go through a define phase where we're really defining a scope of work. What is this going to look like in the first place? So that way we're on the same page of expectations. And then from there goes on to the design, where we're starting to really dive into the design side and the prototyping, getting samples, prototyping things out. And then the final 2 phases are procurement and implementation. And what that is procurement is getting all those things ordered, tracking orders, making sure that if we need fabric, we get it from the same dye lot, and then that gets to the workroom to make whatever it's going to make. And then making sure it's delivered to a receiver, that it's inspected. All of that and tracking orders that goes with it can be overwhelming. So there's a whole phase just for procurement, and an implementation of where we start bringing things to life. It's build site visits if there's renovation. It's making sure that the furniture gets delivered and set up accordingly. It's stylizing with accessories. It's bringing it together. And maybe there's a reveal, or maybe it's just phased in. It really depends on the homeowner. But we do have 6 phases we go through in a process. Like I said, my background is engineering project management. I do focus a lot on process and communication and the management of a project in whole, but I make sure that the end result, the deliverable, is linked back to those empathy exercises that we ran in the first place. And there's a lot of questions that I'm going to ask, and there's a lot of activities we're going to run through, and assessing your home and understanding what values you have as a family. And so when you're working with any kind of designer, whether it's us or it's someone else, I will say you will get out of it what you put into it. So if you give them all your details of things you like, things you don't like, things you value, different styles that you like and why you like them, if you can dig in and really answer those questions, there's going to be a lot of them and it's going to feel overwhelming. But if you can answer those questions on the front end for any designer, your design will be a lot better. It will really support you and your family that much more if you actually put skin in the game and answer those questions and not expect the designer to read minds, because that is one thing we are not. We do not know how to read minds. So if you can help us by answering these questions, we will know what to ask, and that is how to most successfully work with a designer. And leave more of the process flow up to us. We will tell you what's next. I mean, if I told you that within my 6 phases, there are 40 steps, and then those even have sub-steps, that would totally overwhelm you. But what I do want you to know is when you're working with a designer, make sure that they have a process that they're following. Because if they have a process they're following, you will have a much better product. It will save you time, it will save you money, and it will give you a very quality product. So that is how you work with a designer. Work within their processes, and have fun. This is a fun thing to bring life and breath into your space. So have fun and give grace sometimes in the process too. This is something that designers have done a lot of. We understand our process, and just if it's not maybe something you are used to, just communicate and just work with them and not necessarily against them. It'll be a lot harder of a process, but just talk and have fun in it, because it is such a fun process for us. I love the prototype phase, to be able to test things out and get my problem-solving mind going as a previous engineer is fun for me. To go through empathy and really talk about what are your thoughts, what are your feelings when you're going throughout a space, to be mindful in those is fun for me. To bring together those intentions to life in a design that I know will give so much life for the family is really fun for me. To get kids involved in the process, that it's not just for their parents, that it is their home too, is really fun for me. And so I want it to be fun for you too. And I'm sure any designer does. So just remember, if your home doesn't support you, start asking yourself those questions. Do I want to save time, money, and have a quality product, or am I okay with having a slightly off triangle? That'll help you understand if you need a designer or not, or when to get a designer. And then how to work with a designer. Just start calling and meeting and understanding if there is a connection or not, and then they will take you through the process. Make sure that you have a designer that does have a process, because it will better guarantee that time, money, quality triangle that just delivers a phenomenal product for you and will give your space the meaning, the intention, the mission, the connection, the support that it should bring to your home, the life that it should bring, right? The continuous joyful refuge, the Lykke Haven that you desire for your home, by following the process and having fun with it. And that's how you know when and then how to work with a designer. But if you have any other questions, please feel free to message me. If you're still trying to decide, do I need a designer or not, just reach out. And I'll be happy to tell you if yes, it's time, or sometimes no, it's really just not the time right now. Maybe something you can do on your own right now. So reach out if you have any questions. And if you want to know more about our process, I'm always happy to grab a cup of coffee, like I said, and take you through our meet and greet deck of how we design differently here at Lykke Haven. Always happy to do that for anybody. So that is what I have for you today. So I hope that it kind of cleared up more of when do you even get a designer in the first place, and how do you move forward with one that you connect with. And if this has helped you, please share it with any friends that are also in consideration. And we're always trying to grow our community. Make sure you check out the other videos, tips and tricks, and then just who Lykke Haven is and how to create with intention, mission, and connection. Check those out on my website, lykkehavendesign.com/blog. All of those videos are up right now. They will be taken down probably by the end of summer, so make sure you check those out. And then tomorrow we're going to talk about what's next. We're reaching the end of our 40 days, so what's after this? I will tell you it will not be a daily 1 o'clock moving forward, but what is it going to look like? Because I do want to continue to inspire you guys in creating your own Lykke Havens at home. I want to be that designer friend that you have that can just help you out and inspire with little tips. So we'll talk about what that's going to look like. And then make sure you come back throughout the week, because we're going to be talking about a fun, free thank you gift, just celebration gift that I have planned. So make sure that you stay tuned on that. And as always, make sure you're following me. I know I'm on Facebook Live here, but make sure you're following me on Instagram as well. I do share in my stories there some highlights of projects I've been working on, like in process type stuff. And the bedroom I'm working on is coming together, and it's exciting. So I'll be sharing some of those additional pictures there, because it'll be a while before it gets finished, waiting on furniture. That's probably due around Christmas time. So that'll be a while before we get professional photos done. But check the in-process photos. You can check what me and my kiddos are up to sometimes. I'll post on there as well. So make sure you're following on Instagram. And as always, I just appreciate you guys coming here, checking out this video, even if it's for a replay. Make sure that you comment below maybe a tip that you didn't know before of when to look for a designer. I would love to hear it. And then I will see you guys tomorrow as we talk about what's next. I hope you guys all have a fantastic summer solstice, and that you take time to just be in summer and celebrate the change of the season. I love y'all. Bye.